Welcome to Oklahoma High School Girls Basketball Between the Lines with my man Coach V on this Thursday night as we get closer to the weekend. Boomer Sooner weekend, folks. Boomer Sooner. But hey, I can't talk too much about Boomer Sooner because we got ORU's assistant coach Wayne Anderson going to be joining us tonight and talk a little bit about ORU's women's basketball. And so we'll have him on in a minute. But Coach V, what's going on?
What's up? What's going on? Nothing.
Oh, man.
Practice.
Practice.
Another good day of practice. Man, I cannot complain about practicing at all. My girls have done good the last 2 days. Put good efforts in. Again, working on some shells, some press, about 3 or 4 offenses. So, it's nice when you got veterans that know, your practice level and what they want. And we got 6 seniors, so we got 2 sophomores coming back and some juniors. So, I like what we're doing.
Well, Coach, man, I mean, like you see, you get closer and closer. Each week you get closer to scrimmage. I know it's right around the corner. I know we did a show last night, but tonight we get to bring on another college coach. And that's what we've been doing the last few weeks, has been bringing on college coaches. So excited about it because, we went from a Division II to a JUCO. Now we get to bring on an assistant D1 coach, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the D1 world. Some of us don't know what it's like, but he's going to be able to tell us what's going on out there and tell these young ladies what they need to expect and what they need to do. I got to even ask the question, do they still got to take the ACT or SAT to get into a major university like that?
The only question I ask is it true you don't carry your luggage? D1, you don't carry your luggage, D2, hey, Coach, backpack, NAI, you pack your own stuff.
Hey, Coach, what I tell you about the NAIA in Division II, they on that little short bus, Coach.
You talking about short bus? We were in 2 vans. What are you talking about? Vans.
You had a Scooby-Doo van, Coach. The Scooby-Doo van. So we'll bring him on here. Are you ready, Coach G?
I'm ready.
Let's bring him on then. Here we go. Let's bring him on.
What's up, Coach? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Hey, man.
Doing good.
We get to have fun. Thank you for joining us this Thursday night. I know you're a busy man. Had media night, taking care of the babies and all that. Season's right around the corner, so I know you're a busy person.
Yes, absolutely. But we enjoy being on with you guys, and y'all got me laughing already.
Oh, man, that's what we do, man. Me and Coach V will cut it up. We'll cut it up. That's some old school. We got a little game still.
Hey, Coach Anderson, all I got to say is a good thing you got an easy name, because if you had a hard name, Tony chops him up, man. He chops him up.
I'm still going to probably tear it up.
Too, so you feel right at home, man. As long as you got a number,
Coach, I'm still going to tear it up. I ain't going to lie to you. I might call you Tom by the end of the night.
Yeah. Good deal. Thanks for having me on.
Glad you could join us. But if you can, for the listeners that don't know you, I know you're from Oklahoma and all that, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I guess we'll start this way. I actually was born and raised here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and so moved away in 2005, I guess, was when I went to Edmond to start college coaching with Coach Evans there at UCO back in 2005 on the men's side. I stayed there until 2008. Was hired by Todd Thurman out at Southwestern Oklahoma State. And then from there is where I met my wife. And, I stayed there as a coach until 2013. In 2013, I moved away from coaching. We started having kids. And so it was best at that time that I kind of stepped away from it. I couldn't stay away very long. Started working with some kids, and that kind of built into a little bit of the AAU stuff that we were involved with 3T training. Did that until 2022 when we decided to move back to Tulsa and take jobs at Oral Roberts University with Kelsey Music. And that's led from one thing to the next. We had a very successful 3-year stint here at Oral Roberts. And my wife, Sophie Anderson, the head coach now at Oral Roberts University, was afforded the opportunity to become the head coach. And I was fortunate enough to get hired on, and I haven't got fired yet. There you go.
Well, I'm old, so I can go back. I got a chance to be with Coach Evans with Athletes First back in the day.
Yeah.
So you've got a good person that you worked under there, man. He's just one of the best in the biz. And then Double T, I got to grow up watching Double T play for my dad back in the day. So, when you ever see Coach Thurman or talk to him again, ask him about the wraparound. He had a wraparound pass on a fast break, and I'll never forget Double T. Great guy. I talked to him the other day. He came down for Dad's deal a couple of years ago, but you've been under some good people.
He is. Yeah, I have. I've been fortunate to learn from some good coaches, and whether they're good or bad, I was taught early on that you can learn something from everybody. And so, yeah, there's offensive coaches, defensive coaches that we learned from over the years. And I'm fortunate to be in the position I am and to have had the opportunity to work for people we work for. So, still talk to those guys and appreciate everything they've done for us.
Yep.
Well, coach, you talked about, you had to took the job at ORU and your wife's the head coach. I got to ask you, what was the interview process like? Was she tough? I mean, because you got to think, man, it's she's the boss lady. So, I mean, what was that?
There was an interview process, believe it or not. She just sat down and told me exactly what I needed to do. Hey, look, I need you to understand one thing. I need you to help me figure things out at the house. And I certainly need you to take care of your area in basketball. I don't need to be calling you in this office trying to improve things. So, hey, take care of that and we're good. So, I guess I've been doing a pretty good job so far. And
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff, man. Maybe by the end of this interview, we'll get you a raise.
uh, that's the goal. That is the goal for sure.
That's it.
You
That's
do
it.
the player development, right, Coach?
Well, I've worked with that a little bit. It's been a part of what I've done since we've been coaching. Y'all were joking before I came on about, do I carry my bags and all that stuff. I don't forget my roots. But to be honest with you, uh, our level, although we like to try to say D1, D2, NAIs, the separations, I mean, I really think you have to get to the higher levels of Division One, what we call the Power Four now, in order for you to see that real separation and that real difference amongst how things operate and function. There's some things that we have at Division One level here that we didn't have at the Division Two level, but it's not a big gap, if you will. And so we still had shorter staffs. And when I say that, not as many uh,
Mm-hmm.
people or personnel to handle a lot of that stuff. So we're still pretty involved with our players. Or Roberts allows us to have a real family atmosphere and something that we thrive on. Of course, it's part of our core as far as how we live as husband and wife and with our family. And so that kind of bleeds over into our team as well. So, I'm not too big to get in the gym and shoot with some kids and do what they need to do to make them feel better about their individual development as well. So, yeah, we're still a part of that. My primary responsibilities is handle a lot of special team stuff.
Okay.
Comes to offense, blobs, slobs, late clock, late game situations, things of that nature. So I can handle a lot of that specifically. And then we also do a little bit with recruiting. I'm not necessarily a recruiting coordinator, but on the road quite a bit more than what I had been in the past.
Does ORU still have the deal where you have your own dorm room? I know I had a couple kids that went there and you had your own dorm room. That was one of the things they liked about ORU, the environment, but the idea that they had their own dorm room.
We still are able to do that. That's one of the things that's been fortunate for us since we've been on campus is that buildings have continued to go up, and we've always said this in recruiting. You always want to make sure that there's cranes or some type of building going on campus.
Yep.
It means that things hadn't dried up just yet. So the fortunate part for us is we've had some good donors that have helped us with different types of buildings. I bet they've put at least 5 or 6 buildings up since we've been there in 3 years,
Okay.
including our brand new practice facility. So if you guys are ever in Tulsa, hey, holler at me, and I'll take you through our 3-story, 3-level practice facility that we have now that is as good as any in the country.
It's
There's
nice.
not a lot of programs that have their own individual gym, but fortunate for us, we are able to have our own practice gym. It's not shared with men's basketball either; it's ours personally, and so that's a good thing to have. So, with that being said, there are some new dormitories and apartment style living that they have built on campus. Is still considered on campus living, but yes, they do have access to individual spaces for our
Okay.
athletes. We're proud of that.
But coach, I got to ask you, you've been assistant coach. How do you balance supporting the head coach and then you being assistant coach to bring your own kind of ideals to the game?
That's an interesting balance. The fortunate thing for my wife and I is that we've been in the game for a while. I think this is her 17th year coaching. It's my 23rd. We met in this environment, so it's not like we came to this environment as new individuals. So we've kind of learned how to kind of function, and although it's hard at times to kind of separate from work and be husband and wife, we've done a good job of doing that at the workplace. And then when we come home, we try to do the best we can to be husband, wife, and more importantly, father and mother to the three
Yes, sir.
children that we have. And so I think by the time we get home, I mean, I think you're about wore out.
Yeah.
Don't want to talk about basketball anymore. It's just, can we get 3 or 4 hours of sleep and get back up and do it again tomorrow? So, uh, you know, uh, hey, you just figure it out, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
So do
Well,
you look
what?
for? Oh, go ahead,
Go
coach. Go
ahead,
ahead, coach.
Coach.
No, I was gonna say, do you look forward when you're scouting an opponent? Do you take on the the role of, hey, I got to go scout this player. Let's find a way to kind of shut this player down, or you guys kind of do it all as a team, or what's your role more towards the team?
As far as scouting opponents, is that what your
Yes,
question
sir.
is? Okay, yeah. As far as that's concerned, a head coach usually divides that out amongst the staff. Certain opponents that she gives to each one of us. So that way you don't have. We try to avoid where you got back to back scouts. We can really spend time and focus on what we want to take away from a particular team, or that way you're not just guessing or throwing stuff on the paper type of deal. So we'll all have 5 or 6 scouts, maybe 7 scouts, throughout the year, and that's mixed up. But we also meet on that as well, to where you may do the scout, but then we also kind of collectively come together with game plans of how we approach different things, whether it's offensively or defensively. We really gets fun as far as conference play when you seeing a team a second time. Hey, they took this away from us last time. How can we exploit this, or vice versa? We weren't able to take that away from them last time. What can we do defensively to try to make them go to read one? I mean, sorry, not read one, but read two, three, or four in their offense and make them less effective.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Go ahead, Coach V.
What is when you recruit? What's the hardest thing for an incoming freshman? Is it the adjustment of the amount of hours that's involved between study hall, weights, strength and conditioning, nutrition, physical therapy? I mean, what's the biggest adjustment for an incoming freshman at that level of Division One?
I think all the above of what you just mentioned. For Division One, we have the luxury of practicing 8 hours. I'm sorry, yes, it's 8 hours a week for 8 weeks out of the summer.
Okay.
Now, that's flexible. You don't have to take all 8 weeks. I think the majority of people are somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks. We've cut that down even further than that, just a little bit, just to kind of give us a little bit more time off. We've been talking about that with youth sports and our kids and things of that nature. Are we driving them in the ground? Are we burning them out?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, think about college basketball. I mean, anymore it's June. It's June to April. And
Oh yeah.
that's crazy. Basketball has never been year round, not from that perspective, but now it is. And so, how do you manage that? I mean, because you're never going to be at a 10, for 8 months. I mean, it's not impossible. I mean, if you look at the WNBA or WNBA versus NBA, it's not even comparable in terms of number of games or length of the season.
Exactly.
So, you go watch an NBA game. If you go at the wrong time of the year, well, those guys are not, you know, they can't put out 100%,
Right.
especially game number 40 when you got 40 more games to go before playoffs. So um, it's our job to kind of manage that. But the hardest part, I think, for freshmen is most of our freshmen, these kids today, they don't go to school. They're junior and senior year in high school. I mean, they are maybe one or two classes, maybe
Yes,
an
Right.
sir.
online class. I mean, they are not used to a full schedule. So all they're doing is showing up for practice a couple hours a day. They may do a workout here and there, go with a trainer a couple days a week. It's pretty relaxed, not very demanding at all. When you get to college, especially at the Division 1 level, now you're asked to do community service events. You're asked to do, in class, in person classes. Not to mention all the other stuff that comes along with film study, you name it, the weights, weight training, conditioning, all the stuff that comes with it. I mean, and then way more physically demanding practices because their bodies are not. I mean, at the age of 18, you're not 21, 22.
Yeah.
So the beating that they take physically, I think, is a lot for them. And then we don't even think about the mental aspect of it. Most of our kids are not pushed. I don't I don't know if I want to place blame on that, but our kids are not pushed mentally like they used to be when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to the area of sports and really just life in general.
Yes,
And I
sir.
think that is taxing on the kids as well because they are definitely not prepared and ready for that. So
Well, I can remember back in the day, practice was like 3.5 hours. Now you get past an hour and 45, it's kind of like I got to shut it down a little bit. I might be wearing them out. I mean, so the practice is a little longer. And like you said, my kids, I know if you're smart and you're academically, I've got kids that they come to English and that's it.
Yep.
They're English and then basketball.
You're right.
And they're concurrent and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So that's a big deal, especially
Yep.
if you don't have that demanding, 5, 6 hours a day before you come to practice.
You don't have the 805 class.
Right, right.
That was my favorite class, Coach. That was my favorite class. And I probably missed half of it. Coach, I got another for you. What is your approach of, developing, a player on and off the court? Because, like you said, you got a lot of freshmen coming in and you just kind of spoke on it like, hey, they're not used to, because a lot of them have, like some of these schools have, block schedules. But what is your approach of, bringing in and, developing a player? Because, a lot of times if they don't make it out their freshman year, they're done. I mean, it's tough. Kids move away. They think this is what they want. Then they get to college. It's like, this ain't for me. I got to get back home.
Coach, give me a second. I think I lost your screen, so hold on.
You there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we see you. We see you.
Okay. You can see me, but I can't see you. You just went away from me. But anyway, well, there we go. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. But it's okay. Ask your question again.
I was, what is your approach of growing a player on and off the court? Sometimes they kind of need that father figure, big brother figure, for a young lady that's coming in, that's going to be a freshman or even a junior college player.
I think it's all about relationships. And when you talk about growing and developing an individual, you have to kind of know they have to feel comfortable with you.
Yes, sir.
In order for that to happen. Because I think just like with anybody, it's just human nature. I mean, if you're not comfortable with somebody, you don't fully open up, to the idea of change. In order to grow somebody and develop somebody, they have to, change. There has to be a change of behavior. It may not necessarily be a negative thing, but there has to be a way that you move differently than the norm. You know, that's just simple math, if you will. So that's the first thing is trying to build a relationship and where we soften them enough to be able to trust us, to be able to say, hey, the information that they're giving could help me, not just in the area of basketball, but can help me in life. And so my wife is really big on that. Coach A is who we call her, or what we call her. And, so she makes us do a lot of different things. And then one of the first things she did this summer was she made our kids read a book. And that book was called Make Your Bed. And there's 10 chapters in that book. And we spent time on each one of those chapters and we broke that down into individual groups. So we had 2 or 3 kids that came in and we'll talk to each coach individually at scheduled times. Hey, what did that chapter mean to you? And the book is a former Navy SEAL that, excuse me, had shared some stories of his training and upbringing, and how he got to where he is today, and trying to use those life lessons to kind of help better individuals in general. And the first thing was make your bed. And he said, hey, no matter what happens throughout the course of a day, you can always go home and know that you accomplished one thing, and that was that you made your bed. So, we're trying to kind of grow them in an area where they realize, oh man, I'm not a person who made my bed. When I
Yeah.
came, so now you've built a habit after doing that over a 30-day period, to where it's not mandatory now, but I bet majority of our kids get up and make their bed because they were made to do that.
I know my wife does. She
Yeah.
she makes her bed, and I'm telling you what, she is like fresh for the day. Bed is made. Like
Yep.
somebody's gonna come over and inspect the bedroom, but you know what? She likes her bed made, and you know what? I actually, we're doing selling our house, and every day we had a possible show, and I kind of got used to it myself, waking up and hey,
Right.
make the bed. It looked good when you left the bedroom. It really had a good feeling, good vibe.
Well, I don't know what it's like, guys. So my wife don't make the bed. I go to work early. You guys are gonna have to. I'm about to let her hear this part.
Book is in the mail. Book is in the mail, Tony.
You got to listen to this part. I'm gonna say everybody I did the show with tonight, baby, their wife makes the bed, but me. So Hey, guys,
Yeah,
congratulations to you gentlemen for getting that done because I don't get it done. I have to lie,
hey,
it was made today. I think the
hey,
dog might have
you're
made it
not
though.
you're not always perfect, but it does
Well,
feel a
coach,
little
let's
bit
talk a
better
little
when
bit
you can walk
about
away from the day knowing that I accomplished in something.
yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about because like you said, you've been at the Division Two, UCO, Southwestern. You've
Mm.
coached on the men's side. Now you're on the women's side. What's the because me and you kind of talked on the phone the other day, but for the parents that's out there, expecting their babies to go D1 and D2 or junior college, what is the big difference between the two classes though? I know we talked about the carrying the bags, but like the classroom work and the ACT or SAT, do they still have to take that to get in school?
Since COVID, things have changed a little bit, and so every institution does not require that. So I can't really speak on that uh, as a whole. I can tell you what we do at OR Roberts. I don't believe at this point we require it, and from my knowledge, I don't think that we will going forward require ACT or SAT in order to be admitted into the school. But then there's also incidentally academic requirements that you have to um, definitely uh, keep up or uphold in order to stay eligible. So to answer your question, that varies from institution to institution.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Now, as far as the differences from D2, D1, that changes. You got different levels. I mean, there's what 330 something Division two teams,
Hmm.
350, 360 Division one teams. Um, and just like Division one, you've got high major, mid major, low major. We can break that up into even more categories because when you think about high major, why is it that certain schools want to jump from Big 12 to SEC?
The
Because
money,
Money,
there's
money.
TV
different,
contract.
absolutely, there's different perks that come along with that. And so you see the same thing in Division two level. There's an elite top 50, and like MIAA is one of
Hmm.
the own conferences. If you know what I'm talking about, the Missouri and Kansas Division twos, and there's a certain standard that they have that they operate at. And to be honest with you, they model a Division one conference the way they approach things from a revenue sport versus a non-revenue sport that allows them to kind of keep their revenue sports at the height of Division two athletics. And then you see other conferences as well. I'm mentioning them, but there's others that do some of the same things. And then you have other Division two programs they don't have the bag, if you will. They don't have the budget to sustain real success. And just like NIL money is starting to float into Division one programs all across the country, you're starting to see that at the Division two level now. I still have a lot of friends at the Division two level, and when I talk to them, I mean, they're dealing with some of the same stuff we are,
Yes,
and
sir.
so the portal is great for those who can capitalize from it, but it doesn't mean that it benefits everyone. Um,
Right.
so you have to find the niche of what your institution allows you to do. You also kind of regionally have to figure out what makes sense for your program as well. And, I think we're still at a place where we can still recruit high school kids. We can get a portal kid or two if that's the direction we need to go. But I still don't think the old school way is out, where some people may feel like, hey, you got to go all portal. Well, at the end of the day, team sports are team sports. You still got to have good chemistry. You got to have good people, and so all those things are important to winning.
You are in the Summit League, right?
Yes, sir.
And okay, and give me some ideas for people who don't know, like the competition of who's in there. I know there's some teams that make national tournament, NAIA tournament, or NIT tournament. I'm sorry, NIT tournament, things like that. So, give an idea of at ORU how much am I going to get to travel? Do you all get a chance to spend that time to go to Bahamas or something? Everybody gets that one, two trips to get to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we still have to do things within budget, but there's different ways of going about it. I mean, there's sometimes you get donors to say, "Hey, look, we're going to fund this amount of money to help you guys go on this trip," or maybe we're able to get some guarantee games with high major schools that will be able to give us enough money to pay for trips like that. We're in conversation about that for our 26-27 season. Actually had a meeting with the AD today about that in particular. So we'll see if that's able to happen for us. I think it will in the near future. It certainly helps with recruiting. It may not be something
Oh
we do
yeah.
every single year, but something that we certainly throw out there to where every class we bring in will be able to have a trip like that.
Do you
So,
miss
coach,
your? I'm gonna ask you straight up. Do you miss your AAU days of 3T,
there's,
MAYB, and chatting?
there's days I miss it. There's days that I'm very happy that that's over with. No, in all seriousness, I still have some connections with a lot of those people, and I don't miss it at all. I did it for almost 10 years, right, 9.5 years, and the one thing I do like about AAU basketball is, yeah, you have some spits and spats with different people, parents, and things of that nature, but for the most part. Um, you know, Nobody really looked at you as a bad person. Everybody was always excited about you, and not a lot of complaints because they always felt like you could help them. People
Right.
look to you for help, and so I do miss that connection of being able to help each and every one in their own capacity. So the AAU basketball was never a big thing for me. I never really wanted to deal with teams. In all honesty, I really enjoyed getting in the gym and working with kids and helping them develop, become better basketball players. And that was one of the sales for me in my networking system was, hey, I, we may not have the best team in the state of Oklahoma. Not going to promise you that. We may not go to the biggest tournaments, but one thing I can promise you is that we have some networking. We know some coaches in the regional area, especially in women's basketball. Girls aren't going more than 2 hours away from home anyway. Uh,
Exactly.
it's perfect. So hey, if I can call this coach and say, hey, she's gonna be pretty good. I'll share this story, and and then we'll let you ask whatever questions you got. But Bo Overton, is a friend of ours, was at Oklahoma City University at the time. I had a 6'2" post player that was pretty good out of Thomas, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And,
What are you
uh,
talking about?
we were playing at the MAYB Nationals, and I said, "Hey, we're gonna be at your gym here in a little bit. I just want you to come over and tell me what you think about this kid." Well, he comes over at halftime of the game, and he say, "Don't you let nobody talk to her. I want." So, it's just, I do miss those opportunities and moments where we weren't trying to. I wasn't trying to sell kids to the highest level. We really
I
wanted
love
to
it.
get to a place where you fit, where you can be successful. And hey, she wound up being an All American there at
She did.
ORU. And so, I think she averaged 20 points a game in 20 minutes. I said, "But why don't you play her longer than 20 minutes?" He said, "She don't need more than 20 minutes."
No one's trying to hide her. He's trying to keep her
Yeah,
here.
yeah, he did. He had to fend another Division One program in our state. I won't mention any names. He had to fend them off trying to get him. Yeah.
She
So,
had a
coach,
great career. I mean, I didn't. I saw her play in all-state tryouts. First time
Mhm.
I saw her play, and she really did good there. She had a really good career, and like I said, she ended up being an All-American, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the
So
best hands I've ever coached, men or women. I mean, she never dropped the ball, and that's important. She was strong, and you weren't gonna move her. And I said,
no, Tony, Tony,
"Man,
you have to look at this kid one time. I mean, she was solid, and when she dropped the hammer on you,
yep,
you were going backwards.
I
no,
love it.
no doubt, no
Hey,
doubt."
and she was
Yeah,
6'2", so that didn't help. That didn't hurt anything either. Her being 6'2". Coach, I
no,
got to ask
probably
you, like, on the
not.
recruiting deal, how do you find out about girls? Or is it kind of word by mouth, or you kind of see Twitter, or I mean, how do you kind of get connected with a young lady that's out there?
Well, there's so many different outlets now. Obviously, with the circuits and things that we have, we do use that as a way to kind of connect with people. Obviously, we have connections with high school coaches, and being in the state of Oklahoma, being raised in Oklahoma, there's probably a few more people that we're connected with than just moving to a different state. If I was to move to the state of Alabama, obviously, I have to work at certain things a little bit more. It's not that we can't recruit across the country. We can. I mean, we got a kid from Alaska that we just signed, 6 foot shooter, and in the 26 class. And so um, people are like, how do you get a kid from Alaska? Well, every once in a while, you just come across an email of a kid that fits the type of values that your institution is is their mission statement. And so they're like, hey, we want to be a part of that. Like, okay, well, first of all, let me find out if you're good enough to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So anyway, you go check them out. You go watch them a couple times. Say, yeah, I think this kid's good enough, and one thing leads to the next, and you bring them on a official visit, and make sure it's a fit. And most of the time those things work out. But it is. It's just it, part of it's relationships, previous relationships that you have with coaches, and the other parts of it, like it's just sometimes you get lucky, and there's just no other way to say it.
You know, just for people to know, I used to when I was an assistant for 5 years, and we were looking for certain players, but I did have my eye on others that I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Do and so people would call me and I would say, I saw this guard. I don't need a point guard, but I did see this guard, and I would refer them. How many times that happened in your career as a coach that I didn't need that player, but they can play, and I definitely if someone calls me about him, or I might call someone about him and say, hey, I saw this player over here. You need to check her out. Obviously out of conference, so out of
Yeah,
a conference.
it happens all the time. Obviously, I probably have to be nicer to people, and I think most people get it at some point. It's not that we don't want every kid that people refer to us, but at the same time, there's only a certain amount of scholarships that we have. To be quite frank with you right now, I mean, we're full, and so we're still getting phone calls, people wanting us to take kids out of 26 class. Well, I can't tell you absolutely now, no, absolutely, we can't take anybody else because you never know in the transfer portal world.
Right.
You could lose players at the end of the year, and we'll need some 26s. So it's one of those deals where we try to be as honest with people as we can, but then also still being realistic about the potential, you know, opportunities that could lie there, 6, 8 months from now.
Yep.
Good stuff. Well, Coach, I got to ask you though, man. You talk about the wife. Who's a better cook between you two?
That's funny. That's funny because she wasn't. I'm kind of telling off on her a little bit now. She wasn't a big cook when we first met. I would always joke. We would go out and eat, and even going out to eat, she's all she wanted to eat was Mexican food. Well, funny thing about that was okay. Well, what do you want for Mexican? Well, let's go get some nachos. I'm like, well, every time we go eat Mexican is nachos. So, do you want nachos? Or do you want Mexican food? 'Cause I'm confused. So, anyway, when she would cook, it was very very limited. She was very picky eater. She still don't think she's picky, but hey, I would cook some spaghetti, and that's about it. So we had kind of one thing here and there, and she's grown a whole lot in 16 years for sure. She would definitely be the better cook right now.
That's good stuff, Coach. Hey, so I got to ask this though. This is probably my last one. Has she ever got a tech and you had to pull her back?
You know, this being her first year as head coach, she is. I think she got one tech. I wasn't on staff at the time. This was a few years ago when she
Did
was
you
a
yell
head.
at her when you got home?
I did not. I did not. That's one thing. That's one thing I've learned. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna yell at her. She's got a lot more passion and energy and intensity than I do. So, yeah, I got to be careful there.
That's where you sleep on the couch when she comes home and say, "Oh, I'm honey, I was asleep."
Yeah.
It's just avoid the whole thing.
Now, now we have not put the policy in, but we probably need to talk about that. We got a scrimmage coming up here pretty soon. So hey, look, now what's the protocol on when you get fired up after referees? Am I supposed to hold you back? Do you have another assistant that's gonna take care of you?
I think another assistant. I think another assistant, please.
I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Coach, man, we really appreciate you coming on, man. I mean, it's a blast, and like I said, we've had, like I said, Division two, junior college, and now you assistant D1 coach. And I tell you, man, it's I know people probably think, man, what's it like? But I mean, you're just laid back, just like everybody else, man. It's just a
Hey,
job that, as a job, you get to have fun and do something that you really like, coaching.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't forget where I came from. That's for sure. And the good people in the business don't. You know,
Yes, sir.
that's one thing I've learned is they stay pretty grounded in who they are. And again, like you said, you mentioned some of the names people that I've coached with and been around. One of the first things Coach T taught me, Double T, is that what you call him? I never call him Double T. I just call him Coach T. But Todd Thurman, one of the first things he taught me was I come in his office one day. I was just telling somebody else this story the other day. And it's a lesson for younger coaches to learn for sure. But I can't remember if I said something about what I had done in practice, and he said, "Let me tell you something real quick. Is if you ever mention the I again, we're gonna have a problem."
Oh
He said,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's we, and I've never forgot that. 20 years ago, and so it's those types of lessons that you learn that kind of help keep you rooted and grounded in who you are, and you realize in this business, in order to be able to sustain it, it takes a lot of support and a lot of help from a lot of different people. So, you can't ever feel like that you're too big.
That's great
Coach,
stuff.
Coach Anderson, man, like I said, next time you out here towards Memphis City, man, I'd like to catch up. We grab some lunch. I even buy.
Oh, hey, I got you, man. I got you.
Hey, he don't want no nachos, Tony. He don't
I
want
was
no
gonna tell you,
nachos.
Coach, I'm kind of
Let's
like
do
you,
something.
man.
Let's do
My
something
wife
different
loves
tonight.
Mexican food, and I
Yeah.
tell you right now, we ate Mexican so much, man. And when the boys are in school, that I'm tired of them. The kids like, "What we gonna eat, man?" I said, "Nah, man. I'm a steak and potato guy, man. Give me steak and potatoes, and we
Hey,
good to go." Now I
I'm
will
with
say,
you. I'm not picky
I
though.
love me some spaghetti though. I'm telling you, that's my meal to go to. My birthday meal is always spaghetti. So little
Okay.
spaghetti meatball and add a little sweet and low, we good to go.
There you go. I got you. I got
Yeah,
I ain't picky though. I'll take whatever. If you want to go for nachos, let's go, man.
let's go. Uh, well, Coach, we appreciate you, man. Like I said, good luck this season, man. I know you guys about to get busy and get after it, man. And like I said, I know you guys are, like I said, your wife's first year being a head coach, man. We wish her the best of luck, and man, like I said, go take care of business, man. We hope to see you guys and get one of the big tournaments.
Hey,
I
coach, real quick.
uh-huh.
If a high school team wants to come watch you play this season, what would they have to do?
Hey, all you got to do is reach out to me and let me know when you want to come, and we'll certainly get something together. A good schedule of day when we're going to be in the Mabee Center where you got plenty of space. Our practice gym is kind of small, but no, we welcome that anytime.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate that, Coach, man. Like I said, let's keep in touch, man. I appreciate you coming on, Coach Anderson. I really do.
Sounds good. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks,
I appreciate
coach.
you. Thank
All
you.
right, take care.
Well, folks, that's Coach Anderson, Wayne Anderson, assistant coach at ORU, man. Good to have a D1 coach on, man. I mean, it's just real laid back, man. I like it, Coach. Had a little bit of laugh in it, man. That's what it's all about, is having a good time. And, I mean, like I said, he's a tough job. He goes home to his boss. So
Yeah.
that's tough. I mean, I know how my wife is, and I know how your wife is. Go. I don't think I could work with Jessica. It wouldn't
Tell
work.
you what, I wouldn't want to be the one to hold back. It'd be like, it's a no-win situation. She gets a T. Why didn't you hold me back? She's working the referees. Why you hold me back? I think I just go ahead and let this other assistant do it.
Hey, Coach, I'm gonna tell you right now. If me and Jessica work together, I'm probably gonna be sleeping on the couch every night. I'm telling you right now, Coach. You guys are lucky. You get your bed made. I don't even get my bed made, man. I mean, I did.
Telling you.
She must have knew y'all was gonna talk about that because my bed got made today when I came home, and I thought Baxter made it. I don't like Baxter. I'm like, he must have made the bed. He's trying to stay in good
Yeah.
graces with me. I'm
See,
trying to
Jess
do
come home and your bed's made. She thinks you in trouble. You in trouble. She's like, oh, bed's made. What'd you do, Tony? What'd you do?
I tell you, man, I really like Coach Anderson, man. I got a chance to talk to him the other day on the phone, man, and just I always say people, you don't never judge the book until you read it, and I like him because one, Coach, sometimes you get people that get to that stage, no matter if
Right.
they're assistant coach, head coach, they big league you, and that's what I liked about him, man. You can see I met him in Houston, and he exchanged his Twitter with me, and like I said, and just like that, meet somebody like that that's real laid back, and like he said, he don't forget where he came from, and that goes a long way, man, a long way, especially with these kids, and and that's why I think he goes to somebody's house, he's gonna be able to get a kid that he might not think he's gonna get just because of his personality and the way he
Right.
carries himself, and like I said, and then looking at his wife and what she's done on media and what she's trying to do with the team, and she's been there with the old coach that went on to Arkansas. ORU's going. I think they can do some things this year. I mean, I know everybody talk about Oklahoma, OU women's basketball, but I think ORU is going to be right there. That's going to be able to compete with Oklahoma State and Tulsa. Here in Oklahoma State.
Well, it's a really nice campus. I mean, and they're starting to build some buildings up, like you said, and so that campus is kind of getting refreshed a little bit. And I've been in one of the practice facilities, but I don't know if it's the new one or not. But I'm telling you, the Mabee Center is great, and the games in there are awesome. And then you got the practice facilities, and it's in Tulsa. It's a great vibe. has a great culture that's as a Christian-based campus, and I mean, it's definitely a place that you want to send your kid to go play. You've seen the personality of Coach Anderson and Coach A through social media, and it's definitely a place that you'd want to go play. And, you talk about roots for him. He mentioned it, his 3T program that he had, they were kids in Western Oklahoma that nobody knew. And the only time you saw them was when he brought them into town to play. And I'm going to tell you, those kids could play. The kids from Sayre and all that area out there that were always going to state tournaments, they were good. Canutes and everybody like that. And so, when you're used to dealing with kids that are not that, on that name brand, but just come in the gym and work, man, that's where you enjoy it. And you can see he enjoyed his job. You can see the relationship he has with those kids still. And I can tell you, they were fundamentally sound. I remember watching them. They come in MAYB Nationals every year and even dad's tournaments at times. And they were fundamentally sound. So, obviously a good person in developing players.
No, he kind of talked about that, the other day, and I spoke to him on the phone. He talked about, yes, he, because you're on the EYBL, the Under Armour or the Adidas doesn't make you, a big time player. Yes, it's good. You're playing this great competition, but he's looking for a person that's going to work hard, get the job done. And I think that's what him and his wife and the rest of the staff is going to build. You can tell he likes to recruit the state of Oklahoma because he said girls ain't going 2 hours away. I like that because that is probably true because I'm telling you right now, my baby boy, I mean, he wasn't going far away. He's 35 minutes. Edmund's 30 minutes away from the house, and Zoe said, "I'm going 8 hours." Zoe, she talking that noise, man.
She ain't going 8 hours. Mama gonna call one time, one weekend. She'll be, hey, Mom, coming back. But ORU, I think ORU's in a really good spot. We see some of the kids that we see follow and they're offering, and the kids are excited about that offer, and so it is. They're making a dent as far as recruiting Oklahoma, and they always really kind of have. ORU has in the past as well, but some of the kids I'm looking at that are in the top rankings. I mean, ORU's looking at them, interested or even offered or whatever, and those kids are excited about the opportunity to go play at ORU, and that's what you want at that level.
We have one of his top recruits that she's coming on. She's class of 2028, Brooklyn Miles. She's gonna be joining us, folks. I told you we're gonna get Brooklyn. She's excited. Mom was excited when we texted today and said, "Hey, we wanted her to finish her softball season up before we start trying to attack her in basketball because, like I said, the biggest sport. She's in that sport right now, and they just ended their season. But she's gonna be joining us this Monday night. Me and Coach V's gonna have her on. We told you, folks, we're gonna have her on. This ain't about the Zoe and the Annabelle and Brindley show. It's the Brooklyn Miles show, baby. That's what it's all about. The Brooklyn Miles. We got. Oh, I'm so excited because I'm telling you right now, we love Brooklyn Miles. Just because, like, when we sent the text out today, Mom's excited. She said, "I already watched the show from last night." And that's what we want to hear, man. She's like, it gets me fired up when a parent loves what we're trying to do for the state of Oklahoma, man. I'm gonna tell you, folks, me and Coach V don't make a dime doing this show, but we enjoy loving it and putting it out there and talking about high school girls and getting their names out there because at the end of the day, we want every one of these girls to get a scholarship. Can they all go to ORU? No. Can they all go to Tulsa? No. OU, OSU? No. But there's a home for each young lady out there.
Exactly right.
There's so many schools out there. If you can play, they're gonna find you. They're gonna find you. You gotta keep working. We talk about it all the time because you're 2029, you might not be the top notch. Don't mean you ain't gonna be there by the time it's your senior year. And believe me, if you keep putting work in, Anderson, Tulsa's coach, OU, OSU, Little Rock. I mean, all these schools will find these players. If you're trying to go D1, D2, I mean, only thing I wish I would have asked him though, Coach V, if he had a chance to coach Division I or be a head coach in his own, would he leave his wife?
Ooh, that'd have been a good one. We'll hit him back with that one. Let him think about that one a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good one though, because I mean that's a tough one now because now you divide the family because she's here.
What if you had to play each other?
Ooh,
man!
Coach, I gotta drop.
Yeah, man. I guess that would have been like. Did the Gundies ever play against each other? Were they too old?
And guess what happened, Coach? They didn't talk at Thanksgiving. They did not talk at Thanksgiving, Coach. So could you imagine him and his wife playing each other? And they had to go home.
I guess it'd be some.
Coach, they would have to get an apartment house. He would have to stay upstairs and she'd be downstairs.
I just stayed in the office. Just stay at the office. Say you're watching film or something. Stay at the office.
Man, we gotta ask him next time. Well, folks, man, we love it, man. This is what we like about the show. We get to have fun. We get to bring college coaches on, man. Coach Anderson, I'm gonna give him 2 thumbs up. I thought he did a good job speaking, talking. Very well educated young man. I tell you that right now. Just a good speaker. I tell you, he's one of those guys that's going to come in the house, and a girl might be committed to go to OU, and he might be able to snatch her from OU just because he's smooth operator. That's what I'm saying, Coach. He's a smooth operator, and hey, that's why he got that beautiful wife of his, man. He got a little bit of game. He got that little Johnny Gill skill in him, little Johnny Gill in him, Coach. Little Johnny Gill, talking about my. So look good tonight. Well, Coach, man, I appreciate it, man. I love it. Great interview tonight with, like I said, with Coach Anderson, Wayne Anderson, assistant head coach at ORU.
Yeah.
We wish him the best of luck. Coach, real quick, give us a rundown of the 2028 top 10. I couldn't find it. You can do that real quick, and we'll close it out.
One was the Holmes kid.
Oh,
2
from Muskogee.
Miles. 3 is Woods. 4 is Kindred. 5 is Woodworth. 6 was Prestridge, 7 was King, 8 was Woodson, 9 is Richardson, and 10 is Jada Davis.
Jada Davis.
Yep.
Well, 2 of those girls are getting recruited by ORU, so that tells you where ORU's at. They own some of the top 10 girls in the class of 2028. So that's good stuff, though. I mean, they're right there in the mix of everybody else. And Amara King, I think she's a top girl in the state that I'm probably she hasn't got an offer yet. And, Holmes has got some offers. I think Wichita just kind of offered her. So we got a lot of girls on there, that's going to give a lot of looks. I know Brooklyn's going down to Abilene. I don't know if that's a recruiting or just a camp or what. I don't know, but
Unofficial.
Unofficial. I mean, that's cool.
They're all unofficials.
Oh, so they can't take officials yet, or no?
No, I don't think they can take them to their senior year. They're all unofficials, but I may be wrong. I mean,
I don't know.
But my knowledge is you can take it after a certain period going into your it may be your junior year, spring junior year, summer junior year.
Because I don't think Gabe took no officials into his junior year in wrestling. So
so
he took a lot his junior year, didn't really do nothing. But I know it's kind of changed now with football. You can have as many as you want before it used to be. But Coach,
there's officials as many as you want. You can go every time you want if you want to.
No, I'm talking about officials, not unofficials. You go anytime because it's on your dime. You know what I'm saying? They want you to come up though. But I do like to go catch a game at ORU though. Maybe something that we might do.
Yeah. Get the Lady Titans down there. Hey, you're in tournament champions, man. When you're in tournament champions down there, call them up. Visit. Hey, that's a good time to take the Lady Titans to go visit the practice facility if they're in town.
That's it. Coach Richie, if you listen, you hear it. Hey, we calling it out. Go check it out, ORU.
That's right.
So we can go do that. But Coach, you know what time it is though? What time will we? Yeah.
Time to get going.
When that music comes on, you know what that means. It's time for us to go. But hey, we appreciate you catching another great episode of Oklahoma High School Girls Between the Lines. Great show tonight, folks. I'm telling you, got me excited, man. Can't wait to go back and listen to this, man. Great job by Coach Anderson. Good luck to him and his wife and the rest of the team. Coach V, I know you got to go. I know the girls are off tomorrow. You guys get back in the gym come Monday and get ready for
homecoming, man. I gotta let the girl. We're gonna go a little bit, but I got some girls who are gonna be homecoming candidates, and you know what? Let them be kids. Let them be kids tomorrow night. An hour ain't gonna hurt us. It's really not.
An hour ain't gonna hurt you, Coach. An hour ain't gonna hurt you, man. Let them enjoy their time. But folks, we always gotta say it before we get out of here, though. Right now we're kind of at a standstill. We're sitting at over 210 subscribers. We need to pump it up. My goal by the time season started was 500. We need you to like and subscribe. That's all we need you to do is like and subscribe, folks. We're trying to build this up. Like I said, we want to get this party jumping. We're almost there. We need about 300 more. So come on, get on there and like and subscribe. Show last night's kind of slow, so we need everybody to jump on the show from last night and jump on this show because it's gonna be a great one. Listen to a good D1 coach. But Coach V, let's get out of here. Let's do it again next week. Like I said, next week we'll have Brooklyn Miles on, the outstanding point guard. I'm gonna tear that school's name up.
Pahuska.
I'm gonna tear it up, Coach. You better help me. They're gonna be mad at me, like, what is he talking about? But Husker, we got it for Husker. But like I said, we'll catch you guys next time on Oklahoma High School Girls Between the Lines. My man, Coach V, and myself, TJ. We'll catch you next time. See ya.
See ya.
Above the Line Hoops, helping players achieve their goals through recruitment, exposure, and promotion.
We'd like to thank the following sponsors: Above the Line Hoops, Prep Girl Hoops, Keep It 100, and for the latest in high school girls basketball action, check out the podcast on YouTube at Oklahoma High School Girls Basketball Between the Lines.